5 years ago, I started copywriting from my parents' house, and now I'm a millionaire from it. If I could go back and tell myself what I know now, I would have saved years of my time and made a lot more money. And so that's exactly what I'm going to give you in this video. 5 pieces of crucial advice you need to know if you're a beginner copywriter. Now, the first piece of advice. So this is a bit of a weird one, but a lot of copywriters will tell me that they're struggling to come up with creative angles for their copy, or just coming up with things to write in general. Or that they just can't stop procrastinating and they just can't actually write when they need to do it. Now, as someone who did the absolute bare minimum in school and university, I can completely empathize with you. There's a reason I dropped out of both. But there's actually a name for this that you might have heard before. It's called writer's block. It's something that people who produce music or write books or create movie scripts have been dealing with for hundreds of years. It can really mess with your head if you're in a rush to make money like I was at the beginning as well. Because if you can't write, then you can't give your work to clients, and it just slows down your ability to make that essential money. So what I like to do is I get out of my house when I want to write something. There's something about being stuck in the same 4 walls that just kills my creativity, and I need to get out of there. I like to write in coffee shops or parks, or even just go to a friend's house for a while and write in their living room. You'll find that it just opens up your brain a little bit more, and you get a buzz from going out somewhere and actually having a little adventure when you go to write. And to be honest, I actually came up with the idea for this video and planned a little bit of it in a coffee shop in Dubai. So get out of the house and start writing. This takes me on to my second piece of copywriting advice for beginners. A lot of the copywriting advice that you see on YouTube is just really weak. They tell you that,
oh, if you just DM 100 people and ask if they're doing anything with email right now, you'll get a client.
This is the most basic shit advice ever. Like, if you want to write copy for a business, you have to actually package up your service as an offer. Simply saying, I can write your emails is not good enough. Most business owners do not see the value in having someone as an email copywriter, and they don't see the value in you specifically. Because copywriting is a fairly unknown skill. Like, if you go out and ask 5 people on the street what is copywriting, none of them will know what it is. And so what it means is, you can make money as just a copywriter, but if you want to make more money, it's a lot easier if you pair up copywriting with another skill. So I like to tell my coaching clients, which you can apply to be in the description if you just go down there right now. I'll wait. I tell my coaching clients that they should learn something else alongside copywriting if they really want to succeed. Now, before you freak out and have a hissy fit, I'm not telling you to go and get a black belt in jiu-jitsu and then offer that with your copywriting. You just need to learn a really simple skill like editing videos on TikTok, and then pair that up with writing scripts for TikTok creators. Because think about something that a business owner does every single day. If they have to make content and they have to script that content, they have to edit that content, and then they have to film it and then post it, how can you make their life as easy as possible? You can take out 2 birds with 1 stone. You can offer to write the script for the video that they're going to read out and tell their audience, and then you can just clip it up yourself in an app that takes like 10 minutes. That way you're making their life so easy, it is almost impossible for them to say no if you have a good offer. As a beginner, uphill battle to get clients because you're competing with people who already have experience, and you're competing with all the other beginners. But it's made so easy if you just follow what I tell you here and go the extra mile. Freelance copywriting is only hard if you follow other copywriting YouTubers and not me, because I just tell you how it really is. I'll give you 2 more examples of how you can make these offers irresistible for your clients. So the first way I would do it is, imagine you are going to handle someone's email marketing for them, like you're going to write the emails for them. I recommend you actually just learn an email marketing software that they use, like Klaviyo or ListKit or any of the other email softwares, and learn how to actually use that software. So you can write the emails for them, and then you can set up the flows, like if it's a welcome flow or an abandoned cart flow, you can just learn how to set that up and then write the emails for it, and you've done 2 jobs in one. Business owners, me included, hate having to hire people because it's such a lengthy process. You have to deal with so many bad applicants. And so if you can just do 2 jobs in one, you're saving a business owner so much time and effort, and they'll happily pay you. Another example is if you're going to write someone a video sales letter, which is basically just a PowerPoint that they speak over, then you can write the VSL and then you can just package it up as a nice PowerPoint that they can just use on the video. These little additions will go so far in helping you actually land clients, and you'll just make so much more money if you follow what I tell you here. My third piece of advice is all about what type of copy is best to make money with at the beginning. So I remember when I started out, I basically learned from every guru on the internet that email copywriting is the way to go if you want to make money. And look, I did make a lot of money out of email copywriting over the years, and I have some friends who pretty much only do email copywriting and they make like 15 to 20k a month. But it's far from the only way you can make money as a copywriter. I think most of these gurus you'll watch on YouTube are generally just given the most basic advice because they've never actually had to do it themselves and they haven't got any experience outside of email. There are much bigger opportunities in copywriting, especially in 2024 and if you're watching this in the future. My biggest clients as a freelancer were Panasonic, Warner Bros, Burger King, the BBC, TikTok, and about 20 other big brands. And these are brands that I guarantee none of these other copywriting YouTubers have ever had experience with. And guess what? I didn't write a single email for any of them. I did something completely different. I wrote the ad creatives for their ad campaigns on TikTok. If I had listened to all the gurus, I'd be so obsessed with just trying to get email clients that I would never have been able to work with these huge companies. I'd be so focused on getting a small supplement brand in Kenya to pay me to write their abandoned cart emails. My advice to you is to think outside the box and look for different ways you can write copy for businesses. Writing copy on social media is a huge opportunity that just is not talked about on YouTube for some reason. There are literally millions of people making content on social media every single day, and a lot of them make educational content. So there are so many people who just create content that teach things online, and they make content every single day to grow their business or to keep their business alive, which means every single piece of content they write can be written by a copywriter and they just read it off a script on the video. So think outside the box, don't just go for email clients. Now, my fourth piece of advice is dedicated to all the wantrepreneurs out there. So I'm going to tell you a wee story here. I've been doing copywriting for about 5 years and I've been teaching copywriting for about 4 years. And all through that time, I would check my Instagram DMs to kind of like help any beginner copywriters that would message me and see my videos. I didn't even have anything to sell for the first year or so. I just wanted to help people because I knew how hard it was at the beginning. And so there was one guy that used to message me all the time, and he'd honestly message me like 3 or 4 times a week, basically just asking questions about copywriting, asking about how to get clients, just like every single possible question you could have about making money as a copywriter, this guy would ask it. And I noticed after a while, like he never really furthered from where he was. Like he stayed in the same position. He would tell me like he's read these books and he would send me like a quote from some copywriting book that I hadn't heard of. And he's just like,
Yeah, you know, Clayton Makepeace says beauty is in the eye of the copywriter.
some stupid quote, right? And like to me, this guy after a while just seemed like all he wanted to do was read and study. He didn't want to actually take action on what he had to do. And big news flash, if you want to make money, nobody makes money by just reading. You have to take action. Anyway, this guy kept going at this for years. Like honestly, he would text me every week for like 2 years, and I had a friend who's a copywriter as well, and he basically just like, we would look at his messages but like, this guy is ridiculous. Like he would get like really bitter that he wasn't doing anything about it, and he would take it out on me, and he'd start like disagreeing with some point I made in a video. That's like, I made like a 1 hour video and he picks out a little point from like 60 minutes in. But anyway, this guy was just not an action taker, and it ended up not working out for him. Like he still never made it as a copywriter. He just kind of quit. And so the fourth piece of advice is all about just taking action. Anybody can watch a YouTube video, but if you really want to succeed, you have to actually do something about it. So I won't ramble on, but action is so important. It's so important that I actually got a tattoo on my arm. It's a quote by Gandhi, and it says, action expresses priorities. And I got that because I basically was wanting to travel for a long time, and I put it off, and I thought that if I just talked about it enough, it would happen. And then it was only when I booked a flight to New York and started living there for a while that I had this amazing time, and I decided like a month in, I'm gonna get a tattoo, because the best decision I've ever made was just taking action, and I want to repeat that throughout my life. So I have this constant reminder on my arm. So you need to take action. Write the copy, send the outreach, join the coaching program, link in the description, and just make shit happen. Just take action. So you should know by now that copywriting is just sales. It's sales in the written word, and there are some small differences because you're writing and not speaking, but in general, 99% of it is the exact same as sales that you'd speak out. So if you were to name the most successful salesperson in the world, who would it be? We throw some Who Wants to Be a Millionaire answers up here, like option 1, the Wolf of Wall Street. Option 2, Grant Cardone. Option 3, me. And option 4, somebody else. Okay, make your choice. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you probably chose the Wolf of Wall Street. Well, you're wrong. The answer is someone else. The most successful salesman in the world right now is actually the former president of the United States. I'm talking about Agent Orange. I don't really want to say his name in case YouTube thinks I'm making like a political video or something. But this guy uses so many sales techniques in every single rally speech that he does, in every interview he does, in every tweet he puts out. And if you start to study what he actually says, it's really, really interesting to see how he answers questions and makes his points. Basic stuff like how he uses repetition to really drive home a point to the listener or to the viewer. He just says the same thing over and over again.
We will make America great again.
It's a simple message, and he repeats it because what gets repeated gets remembered. You can name so many huge statements that he's made over the years because they're very polarizing, they're very simple, and we're gonna build a wall, we're gonna make America great again. This guy is sleepy and this girl is crooked. There's so much to study about this guy when you actually start to dig deep, and there's a lot to learn from him. So if you want to work for me, click the link in the description. We have the best copywriting coaching program in the world right now. And if you want to learn how to start getting clients as a copywriter, watch this video.